check. My Message Podcast, back to another Thinking Out Loud. First and foremost, I want to thank all the supporters, all the listeners. Man, y'all been showing out, especially on Facebook, on YouTube, getting lots of subscribers. Yeah, man. Definitely shout out to y'all. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for y'all. Y'all really like add fuel to everything that I feel a lot of times. So like, a lot of times I'm getting feedback. I get the comments. I get the emails that I got a subscriber. I get people in my inbox saying how the episode or how something I said affected them, whether in a good way or a bad way, or people giving me criticism. I love it. Like the fact that y'all are involved, it makes me want to go a little harder. So couldn't do it without y'all. So shout out to y'all, man, first and foremost. I want to apologize. Last episode, I get an itch. Sometimes I get an itch. I just start scratching. I get an itch. You know what? I don't know if I like this. I'm going to just hold it. I'm sorry. It's a brand new mic, by the way. If y'all didn't see the beginning of the video, it's a brand new mic. I just opened the box. I get an itch sometimes, right, when I'm recording or when I want to record. Like I have to. I get the itch that I want to record. I don't care what kind of day I had. I be wanting to record. And make sure that Apple in there, Placement is everything. But I get an itch when I want to record. And I had the itch. I was in my head a lot that day. I went to an older store where I worked for a long time, and I wanted to just talk about it. And I don't know, I just had to do it. But I'm sorry that the audio wasn't the best. Not the audio, but me. I couldn't breathe. I was congested because I touched all that dust and stuff, and it was hard for me to really talk. I couldn't be long-winded. I had to keep going. That's not me, but hopefully that didn't bother nobody. But so I want to give you a different one, another one. Plus, I got a busy week this week, so I don't know if I'm dropping the episodes. But I dropped 4 this week. Then I dropping this, so I mean that's enough to hold anybody. I think I put a lot of content out. Before I start, what I want to say is, I want to make this as clear. I don't produce anymore like that. Like I'll do one-offs here and there. It's my need one. But on a regular basis, I do not produce podcasts anymore. That's not something I'm interested in. Not for nothing. It's just I don't have the time. Because me producing somebody's podcast, I could be in here making my own or doing my own or set my own up. So it's really hard for me to commit to producing anybody's podcast, right? In the past, what I would do, I would always send people to Slim. For a couple reasons. Sometimes I didn't want to do it. Not that I was too busy. I just didn't want to do it. So I sent to Slim. That's my man. So a little bit, I am trying to get his name out there. So I'm like, this is more like a Slim project. He has more camera knowledge than me. He has more equipment than me to do these type of things. And I also know that he works for himself. He's an entrepreneur. So he don't have like a steady job. If he don't work, he don't get paid. So I always send services to him for that reason. And then now it's just like, I don't have the time. We joked a lot about time. Like, why you send that person to me? Why you send that person to me? But now it's seriously like, so I want to say this first and foremost. If you're looking for podcast production, photo shoots, videos, any kind of videography, Slim is the guy you go to. You want merch made, Slim is the guy that you go to. You can go to Slim. Great quality, good work, good prices, but the quality is amazing. He'll edit it. He'll have your audio sounding right, make you look right. The photos, dope photos. You see the shots with Slim page, amazing photos. Any small video gatherings you want to do that you just can't find a cameraman to do, or you feel like you don't want to do it from your iPhone, you want to do it and have a high quality, Slim is the guy for that. A video, you got a little video you got going on, whether you rap, you sing, spoken word, artistry, you got an event going on, weddings, whatever, you about to propose, Slim is the guy for that. And that's who I'm pushing. For all of those services, I'm pushing Slim. So when you reach out to me and you ask me about, doing something like that, don't be upset when I direct you to Slim, because that's the guy I'm pushing for that. I no longer do any of those services. I just record podcasts, but I do one-offs, and I don't mind helping somebody. So let's get into that. I don't mind helping nobody. So if you're trying to start a podcast and you're looking for someone to show you the ins and outs of things, we can set up a meeting. I'll set up. We can do a mock podcast. Like, I have time for that. I love to teach. I love to show somebody how to do something. And I love to measure or determine whether that person is really determined or that person is really invested in podcasting. And that's another reason why I kind of stopped the production part of it, because I used to lose a lot of the want to do so. Hold on real quick. Hey, y'all be quiet, please. You hear me, Bailey? Okay, thank you. My daughter's back there, beautiful girls. But yeah, so I stopped doing it because a lot of times I would do these one-offs for people. You know, I never really, and I'm a good businessman. Like maybe I'm bad at it. I don't know. Maybe I was bad business. But like for me, I like to not charge you first because I want you to make sure you like the services I got. But I realized that I should have charged first because I didn't like what I was doing when I did this. When I did the services, right? Sometimes, or you'll give a person an episode. You take the time out of the day, you do it, and then they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing with it, which is a pro and a con. Yes, it's cool because they seen how much work went into it, and now they're not putting out no BS, so they just stopped. But also, like, you wasting my time at this point. Like, you should at least try to do it, type of deal. So it just put a bad taste in my mouth when I do start doing production and things of that nature, and people not being consistent. They ain't taking the art serious. They just got some weird propaganda going on. I ain't into that. Like, I want you to really like what you're doing, 'cause I like what I'm doing. When I take my time to do something, and I'm a busy man. If I set time aside to help you do something, I'm expecting you to go hard with it, and to really show that you can do this. So don't take it personal when I don't respond to messages, or I don't say this or don't say that. Everything I do is real calculated. It's really everything has a reason behind it. Me not answering a message has a reason behind it. Me not doing a guest has a reason behind it. Me doing a guest has a reason behind it. Me answering a message has a reason behind it. Me reaching out to you has a reason behind it. Everything has a reason behind it. Trust me. I'm not waking up guessing what I'm gonna do. No, it's always a reason. It's always a thought, and the process it just follows through. And that's why I think I've been able to be somewhat successful within what I'm doing because of that, having a reason for everything I'm doing, having a picture painted for everything I'm doing. And I don't see that often. I think people like the glitz and the glamour of the media. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not sitting here saying, I'm not chastising nobody. I'm not sitting here saying you shouldn't do it. I'm not sitting here saying you can't do it. I'm the gatekeeper for anybody who wants to do a podcast or anybody who wants to do this. No. If you're not a photographer and you do photography, you charge real cheap and you do whatever kind of work you do, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not in photography, but a person that's in photography is going to feel a certain way because you're undercutting and you're not even really in that like that. Some people do a lot of this stuff for their livelihood. Like a lot of people, where they live at, where they paying rent at, their home, their finances, their kids, how they eat, people they got to take care of, really depend on them getting clients, them having to fulfill services at the price that they are worth, that they put their hard effort, blood, sweat, and tears into. That they've invested in themselves in. So they need that back in return. I'm not sitting here saying don't undercut nobody. I'm not saying don't try 50. Do your thing because you got to hustle. But your hustle, your scheme, your time, your temporary hustle is somebody's really career. Yeah, they're hustling, but this is their career. So I want people to think about that. Not me. I don't care. Make all the podcasts you want. I'm a big firm believer in can't nobody do it like I'm doing it. And I don't mean me. I'm just saying if I was you watching, can't nobody do you like you're going to do you. So it could be a million podcasts in the city. I'm going to still feel how I feel. I'm going to still move how I move. I'm going to still record how I record. And I'm not going to change it because I feel like I'm confident enough to where I feel like what I'm doing is what I'm doing. And anybody else doing it like that. So that's just me. One of the topics I want to get into really though before I get out of here was just the topic of leading. You know what I'm saying? I think I've had some experiences rather in the last couple weeks, maybe the last month, about leadership, call it managing, parenting, whatever, right? All that is kind of under leadership to me. It's all synonymous. And this is what I say, right? I feel like a lot of times people want to be leaders. They want to lead the pack. They want to be in front line, but they don't want to be in front line. Like people want that title, but don't want to put in that work. People want that title, but don't want to have the responsibility of that title. Leading sometimes is also handling problems and issues that you have zero to do with. But because you lead well, you may know how to solve that problem, how to answer that question. That's leadership. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people want to lead. I'm a lead. All right, where you want to lead me to? Destruction. You know what I'm saying? Like to success. I think everybody got leadership in them. I say that everybody got leadership in them, right? But where you leading me to? That's the question. I think everybody has the ability to lead, but it's just where are you leading somebody to is the question. Um, so, and I asked that question because a lot of times, you have leaders, and a leader should never say nothing like, "That's not my problem. They ain't gonna do with me." Once you're a leader, everything has everything to do with you. Every problem is your problem. Whether you have to handle it single-handedly or physically, or you yourself have to handle it and you delegate it off is probably the question, but it's your problem. If you're a leader, it's your problem. You know, I like to think that my kids, like, so as a parent, you're leading your kids. You're leading them to success. You want to do great things. So a lot of times I do, a lot of sacrifices I make, it's not because I want to do it, because as a leader, I have to do it. I have kids, I have to lead, I have to parent, I have to do certain things. I may have to stay later at work. I have to do that. I may have to call out of work. And I love work, but I may have to do that because I have to lead. I have to do certain things. I have to show them that this is important. This is what you want. This is what I want you to do. I want to leave traces of good character. So a lot of things I can't do in front of them versus some things I prefer to do in front of them so they can see it being done. That's leading. Like planning. It's like doing things knowing what the outcome can be. And that's even on a negative side and on a positive side. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do things that I know the outcome could be a negative outcome in front of them, but I also don't do things while you're not looking, knowing that could be a negative outcome, because they see those things too. So leading is all, it's like, it's thinking, it's making sure that every move you make, is a good move. Let's just say that, to say the least, right? So I think that's the issue I'm seeing. A lot of people want to be leaders and they not in no position to lead at all. And it's okay, because sometimes you gotta be led first. I feel like you gotta be led first. Leadership you don't just wake up and have leadership. You don't just wake up and be a great leader. You don't just wake up and be somebody that somebody can follow. A lot of times you gotta go through trial and error. You gotta have a good leader. Shit, sometimes you gotta have a bad leader and have a subpar leader, and maybe have a good leader just to realize, okay, cool, I'm gonna take something from that person. I'm gonna take something from that person. I'm gonna take something from that person. Because like I said, I think everybody has the ability to lead. I don't have that doubt in my mind. I don't care whether it's a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 99-year-old, whatever. Everybody has the ability to lead. It's just about how you do so, how you approach that leadership, how you approach having that power. That's another thing, power. Like, I think people look at leadership as like, okay, I'm in charge. And that's it. So I'm in charge. I'm telling you what to do. I'm in charge, so listen, because I said that. And that's not leadership. That's not leadership. A lot of times you could be in charge on paper. You know how people, man, I ain't getting to that. I could work somewhere. You could see that work. You could see it in the household. In the household, matter of fact, in the household. The breadwinner, let's say it's the dad. Let's say it's the man in the house. That's the leader. But as a leader, okay, I'm sorry. Let's say it's the man in the house, all right, and that's the leader. The woman of the house can actually be the leader. But because that woman is such a great leader, she's okay with the perception or that or the look of the man in the house being a leader because he makes more money. But she might be the one in control in the household. But she's such a great leader that she know when to step back. All right, cool. You said that. That's we gonna go with that. Those are good leaders. She's not in saying, "Oh, I'm the woman. I'm doing all the cooking. I'm doing all the cleaning. This is my house." No. Great leader. All right, you got that. Cool. And I ain't even talking about just men and women. I'm talking about in general, leadership in general. Like, leadership it's not about just being the head of everything. It's because when you're in that position, everything underneath you is an issue that you have to solve, or a problem you have to solve, or something you have to address face to face, head on. That's what leadership is. Leadership isn't, I'm making the most money. Leadership isn't, I'm the strongest. I'm the toughest. I lift the most weights. I'm the fastest. You know, a lot of times on a basketball team or on a sports team, the leader of the team sometimes not even the best one. That person's not even the best athlete on the team. It's just they got a way with words. They got influence. I just spoke about that last episode. The leader got influence. You know what I'm saying? The energy, how people perceive them. You could be a leader just off how people perceive you alone. You might not have the title of a leader, but people might look at you as a leader because of the things you say, how you talk, how you address certain situations, how you carry yourself. Oh my God. Let me stop. That's another thing. How you carry yourself is important. A lot of people in leadership don't carry themselves like leaders. Like you gotta, not saying you gotta walk the walk and talk the talk, because that should go without saying. It's about how you carry yourself when people not looking, and people are looking. How you carry yourself when it's a good day, when it's a bad day. How you carry yourself when you overwhelmed, when you underwhelmed. All of that stuff is like, people look at that, and that's how it's determined whether you're a good leader or not. Because like I said, anybody could be a leader. Are you a good leader? You know what I'm saying? You know how many anybody could be a parent. Are you a good parent? Like what makes you a good parent? What is making you a good parent? What can you show, or what can people look at you and see and say, damn, that's a good parent. You got a smart kid, cool. All right, maybe you're a good parent. You know what I'm saying? You got a respectful kid, cool. Maybe you're a good parent. You know what I'm saying? Your child speaks well. Damn, you're a good parent. Your child is. It's not about if your child dresses well. That's another thing. Like your child is dressed in Jordans and he looks nice. That'll make you a good parent. You clothe him well. Congratulations. It's a lot that go into that when you think of leadership, parenting, but in that leadership role, that like being a leader, like being in charge, leading someone. When you're leading someone, you should never ever. When you're leading someone, you're looked at as a leader. Like they look like when they can't find the answers, you're who they coming to. My daughter can't tie her shoe in the morning and she's struggling. She come, daddy. I can't say I'm tired. Figure it out. No, I'm the leader. This when she don't have an answer to something, I'm who she runs to. I have to make sure that's taken care of. Right? I'm a leader in the sense of I got 2 daughters. Right? They got a cousin. Right? Their aunt has a daughter. Whenever we are around each other all the time, I'm taking a leadership role for that little girl. I'm a natural leader anyway. You need this? Okay, she need that. Well, she don't need that. Whatever. I'm a natural leader. I don't care what the situation is. I'm naturally going to lead. By nature. I think in my nature, shout out to my moms, but I think in my nature, I'm just naturally, I can't be in a position, I can't be somewhere where I don't feel like I can lead. I think for a long time I could have because I wasn't privy to like all the leadership skills or all the characteristics of a leader that I possessed for whatever reason. I wasn't privy to that. And I wish I would have been when I was younger because made my life be different. But, you know, things happen. But to go back to what I'm saying, I've always been a leader. I've been the oldest for how long? All my life. I had this conversation yesterday with a friend, and she was asking me pretty much like, you know, if you can change it, would you change it? Would you change being the oldest? And I told her, I said, hell no. And it's not that my sister couldn't do it. I think she could. She's a leader in her own way, but that's a whole different story. It's not that she couldn't do it, but because, yeah, you see it, everything hits you first. I like the fact that this happened to me first so that I can make sure it don't happen to my sister or my brother. I like the fact that I ran into this problem first so that my sister and my brother know how to handle that problem when they run into it. I like things like that. Like I don't look at that as like a negative. Like, damn, man, why I had to get jumped this way for that to happen? Why it have to happen to me for? No, I don't care. It happened to me. Cool, I ate it, and now they know when it's happened. This is how you handle it. When it's happened, this is how you handle it. And I love that. Like I wouldn't change that for the world. So, and that was the conversation we had. But also, like I said, the man I am today, the person I am today, the leader I am today, I wasn't always that. I had to learn. I had to learn how to lead with my brother and sister. That was my first ever test of, you know, leading, being a man in the house, 7 years old. Am I really a man? No, of course, but you got to be now. You can't really be a kid the whole time. I had to learn that. That wasn't hard. It ain't easy when you want mommy love. You want to just get a hug and kiss, and she trying to give you tough love. Like, no, I can't do that right now because You can't go out there being soft. That's not easy. It's not easy for your mom to have to be tough with you when I know she want to be soft. I know she want to give me hugs and kisses all the time, but right now she can't because she's a good leader. She can't do it because she's a great leader, and she know that in order for her to be a great leader, it's gonna be things that I don't like that she has to do. It's gonna be conversations that I don't want to have that she has to have. It's gonna be things she say to me that she don't want to say but she has to say in order for me to go out there and also be a great leader, or just to navigate through life. You send somebody out there, you send somebody out there and being soft if you want to. Where I'm from, they get ate. You either eating or you get ate. So it's a lot of that. Like you have to have those great leaders. You have to be able to have those uncomfortable conversations. My old manager, shout out to her. She would tell me like, be courageous, have courageous conversations. That's true. Like you have to have those conversations in order to be a good leader. Like it's about being uncomfortable sometimes. Every conversation you have is not gonna be comfortable. You're not gonna like every question you get asked. You're not gonna like every question that you ask. You're not gonna like every problem that you face. Everything not gonna be peaches and cream. And that's why the great leaders have them great attributes, great characteristics, and you learn along the way. So back to what I was saying was, having a brother and sister, being a leader of that, being a leader of the household. I messed up sometimes. Yeah, it's times I didn't just check something as soon as it happened, and I got in trouble for it, of course. Like, why didn't you check that when it happened? I don't know. Check it next time. All right, next time I'm checking it. All right, cool. I know that. I don't check that, I might get slapped on my head. I don't like getting slapped on my head. I hate getting touched. I don't like getting hit. I don't like getting yelled at. I don't like getting screamed on. I never liked that. My mom will tell you, I don't like it. I hated it. So all that had to happen was for that to happen. I know next time I'm doing it this way. I mean, that's why I think I move how I move. I didn't like certain things. So in my mind, this won't happen if I make sure this don't happen. So I will make sure things that happen so that I wouldn't, so things that I didn't want to happen didn't happen. It's just perfect math. So I've always been conditioned that way. So like you have to be conditioned to be a leader. Leadership is not something you're just not gonna wake up one day and be a great leader. You're not gonna wake up one day and be the strongest person in the world. You're not gonna wake up one day and be the best person at this or be the best person at that. It takes trial and error. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. It's plenty of times I made horrible in the past. I made horrible leadership decisions, but you got to make those decisions to know when to make better ones. Like, okay, cool, that happened. That I probably shouldn't have did that, and now I seen the outcome of that. So next time I'm gonna make sure it don't happen. What's up, baby? Can you get something to drink? Sure. So it's about being a great leader. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think leadership. You okay, boo? Okay. I think leadership is something that has to be checked consistently on a daily basis. Like you can easily have someone who can be a great leader and just don't because nobody's checking them. Nobody's checking her. You got to have uncomfortable conversations sometimes. People gonna have to tell you, like, hey, you're doing this, but you probably should do this. And you got to be open to criticism. You can't, just because you're in charge don't mean that you're the best at something. Don't mean that you're the greatest. It don't mean that somebody that's not in charge can't have a better idea than you or can't have a better alternative than you or a better way to handle something than you. But you got to be open to all that because also as a leader, your job is to make more leaders. Believe it or not, as a leader, your job is to make sure you make more leaders. I don't care what kind of system you're running, how you're leading, whatever. As a parent, I feel like my mom's job was to make sure that when I become a parent, I'm a better parent than her. That was her job. And all else that's her job, but that's one of her jobs. Right? As a parent, you want to make sure your kid is a better kid than you were a kid, a better teenager than you were a teenager, a better adult than you were an adult. As a leader, you got to make sure that people under you are going to be leaders, but you're training them to be leaders, but also be better leaders than you were. Or just if you're that good, then be great. But you got to make leaders. That's the job. Like that's how things populate. It's you and the influence you have and things of that nature, and then it blossoms. That's how it works. I don't know what time we at, man, but I'm gonna stop it there, man. Nothing gonna allow. I gotta go to work. So I don't know. I'm putting this out. Nothing gonna allow. New microphone. Let me know how the sound was. Let me know how it was. If it's should I start doing this one or should I hold it still? I don't know. I think I got this mic strictly for thinking out loud from now on. So I'm gonna do all my thinking out louds with this microphone probably. and this setup or whatever. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about leadership. Did I miss it? Did I hit on the head? Let me know. If you're the oldest, let me know how you feel about being the oldest. Like if you're the oldest, if you're the oldest child, let me know how you feel about what I'm saying. And if I should have went into it more, I'm willing to have more conversations about that if need be. But let me know, man. If you're the oldest, I want to hear your experience as being the oldest. I want to know if you could change something. You would change? Would you change it? I wouldn't change it for nothing. I love being the oldest. I love being the one that is. I like being the one people look to for the answer. To me, it's privilege in that. It's a privilege for somebody to look. It's a privilege for somebody to come to you and not know that. Like, all right, how can I say that? It's a privilege for someone to not know an answer and think, boom, let me go to that person because I know they might know it. That's a privilege. That's a privilege. Because I done seen when people don't know an answer and somebody say, ask the person, she ain't gonna know either. He ain't gonna know either. It's a privilege for somebody to come to you when they don't know the answer and hope to get an answer, so they ask you. That's a privilege. Leadership, it's a privilege. Being able to lead, it's a privilege. So, yeah, I got those things, you know what I'm saying? Cherish them, do them wisely, lead them into the right direction. Yeah, man. I ain't always been the best leader. I ain't gonna say a lie. I've been in a lot of leading roles. I haven't always been successful at it. I don't think. I know that people probably watching it's like, man, you was in charge, da da da. All right, I understand. I ain't perfect. And I always say I'm not perfect. I don't care how somebody might make it seem how somebody paint me out to be or what they throw me in their head. I ain't perfect. I'm human like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I've done it all. I've done everything. All the bad things you could think of, I probably done it all. I am not perfect. But, you know, with growth, with trial and error, learning, in life start lifing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a product of that. I'm a product of life. I'm a product of imperfect life. So, More Masters podcast be out. Nothing out loud. This was hopefully it was a good episode to make up for the last one. That was for particular people that I know would take that episode to with them and hopefully to make them better leaders and make them do better things. That's what that was for. This is a makeup for that for my core audience. I'm sorry about my breathing and stuff, but main way episode 2 is out right now. It dropped on Friday. Go to my page. Go to my I share it on my pages. With the link, I put the link in the description in this video. So make sure you check out the main way season 2, episode 2. It's only 2 episodes, one more episode left. So tell me what you think about the episode. And man, that's it, man. Nothing allowed. We out.